Hey everyone, today I'll be reviewing the BlitzWolf BW-AS2 portable Bluetooth speaker. This is a medium-sized portable Bluetooth speaker with quite an interesting design, as you can see. It's kind of rectangular brick shaped. It's got these rubber feet at the bottom which work quite well. And there's these ports here. And here's a reset button. Here's a TF card so you can play from micro SD. There's an auxiliary in, there's a micro USB in for charging, and there's an 18 volt in for charging, so you can charge it via micro USB or 18 volts. So as you can see, the shape is quite interesting. It reminds me a bit of the Creative War, just a little bit smaller. It has two main drives at the front. There's two passive radiators here on the sides, on either side, and here at the top there's a subwoofer. You've got the buttons from left to right. It is a volume up, volume down, play, pause, call, answer button, mode button for switching between auxiliary or Bluetooth, I believe. And there's of course the power on and off button. Now, the volume buttons also double as skip track or go to the previous track buttons if you give them a long press. So there's 40 watts in total in the speaker, which is quite a bit. As you probably know, the JBL Charge 3 has 20 watts, the JBL Charge 4 has 30 watts, and this thing, which is about the similar size, has 40 watts. Well, of course, watts don't mean everything. Actually, they don't mean that much at all. There's two drives in the front, both 5 watts, so 10 watts in total for the drives in the front, and one subwoofer, which is powered by a 30 watt amplifier. The speaker uses Bluetooth 4.2, and the connection is about average, I'd say. I got to about 60 feet, or roughly 20 meters outdoors without any walls in the way, so that is it's decent. There's nothing special, but it's not bad at all. It's just decent. Now the battery inside is a 5200 milliamp hour battery, which is again on the bigger side, and at max volume I got to about 3 hours, which is it's a decent playing time. Once again, there's a lot of decent things about the speaker. 3 hours of max volume is decent. Nothing special, but it's definitely not bad. Now, of course, for the most important part of the speaker, the sound quality. Well, the speaker is definitely bass focused. Yes, it has a subwoofer. It's 30 watt subwoofer. But I would say that the upper bass is a little bit too over exaggerated. So there's a little bit of a honky character in the bass. But most people probably won't notice this. You only really notice this when you really try to hear something like this. But most people won't really notice. They won't really care. The speaker also has low-level compensation, which means that the speaker boosts bass at lower levels. Because at lower listening levels, the human ear actually hears less bass. So the speaker compensates for that the speaker compensates for that by boosting bass at low levels. The mids and highs, they're usable. They sound a little bit weird. Also, it tends to be a little muffled, a little more on the muffled side. But I would say it's usable. There's definitely some stereo processing going on. So if you're sitting right in front of the speaker, you can definitely hear some separation between left and the right channel, which is quite cool. But yeah, as I said, the speaker is quite bass focused. So if you need bass, this is probably a good speaker. Although, with some really bass heavy tracks, it tends to distort. Like Analog by Soul Persona, it's a really heavy kick bass drum. Well, yeah, it does distort a little bit with that. But actually, if you reduce volume on the speaker like 2 or 3 notches and increase volume on your phone, that reduces bass while keeping the volume the same. So that gets rid of the distortion quite a bit. I would also say the speaker is not quite the loudest there is. It's not quite as loud as the JBL Charge 3. I'd say it's almost as loud as the JBL Charge 4, because the JBL Charge 4 of course isn't as loud as the JBL Charge 3, which is unfortunate, but it's true. But yeah, loudness-wise, it's enough for most people, but definitely not the loudest. So yeah, it's $50, so it's more low budget. It's got quite an interesting design. It's not waterproof, but it looks cool. Features are good. Battery life is fine. Bluetooth connectivity is fine. It's got a lot of bass. Mids and treble are fine. It's got a lot of stereo separation, but it tends to distort, and it's not the loudest. So yeah, this has been my review of the BlitzWolf BW-AS2. Hope you like it, and see you next time. Bye bye.